Welcome back to the channel. Today we are test riding the 2021 Suzuki V-Strom 1000. This is going to be their adventure bike. This model that I'm testing today has the spoke wheels. It has a little bit over 100 horsepower at 101. It has 73 foot-pound of torque. In the front you're going to get 19-inch wheels, 17 in the back. In the front you're getting dual disc 4-piston calipers. In the back you're getting a single disc 2-piston caliper. The front tires, as I said earlier, they're going to be 19. The rear are going to be 17. And the good thing about these models over here that we're riding today is that they're going to be tubeless tires. So tubeless tires in the front, tubeless tires in the back. The Suzuki 1000 is known to many as basically, I don't want to say entry level, but it's almost, I guess you can call it an entry level big adventure touring motorcycle. When you think of adventure, you're not thinking of Suzuki, right off the bat. To many riders that do, dual sport riding, they know the V-Strom is a very capable bike. Has been around for a number of years. They have the they have the 1000 that we're riding today. They also have the Suzuki 650, which is going to be the smaller sibling. But to many, the Suzuki V-Strom is going to be almost as an afterthought. Most people, when they think of adventure, they automatically think of BMW, the GS, the 1250, or they think of the Super Tenere from Yamaha, or the Africa Twin from Honda, but they never really think of the Suzuki as being a contender in this arena. Now, Suzuki has been around for a very long time, since the early 2000s. Their motorcycles are renowned for dependability and they're dependable bikes, and you're able to basically do everything that you want to do. It's just not a flashy motorcycle. It's not a motorcycle that's going to get a lot of attention, but it's the right tool for the job. Here we're going to have the windshield. One thing that I'm going to have to say right off the bat that makes no sense to me is going to be the fact that you basically have to adjust a lever up in the front. So that lever, you go ahead and you let it loose, and you're able to move the windshield up and down. Whoever came up with that design, I'm sure he's probably not a rider, or was not really thinking of how you're going to be able to move it on the fly. You can't. If you want to go ahead and adjust your height, you have to basically get off the bike. We'll go ahead and play with the lever up front, get back on the bike, and then go ahead and go riding. Probably something that they really didn't think of. We have over here, there's going to be a USB socket. Basically, you just obviously for your cell phone and whatnot. We have basically we're going to have a nice LCD display. This is going to be around 4 to 5 inches. It's going to give you a lot of useful information. So we have the battery voltage. We're going to have the total miles. We're going to have how many miles still empty at 175. We're also going to see that we're averaging right now 40.2 miles per gallon, and it gives you the option between trip A and trip B. And then when we go over here, it gives you the option to increase the lighting for your motorcycle. So we are able to select between modes. We have ABS 1 and 2. Very comfortable motorcycle. The suspension travel is going to be very good. Usually this type of motorcycle, the adventure bike, you're going to have a longer travel suspension in the front and as well in the rear. You're also going to get a pretty good ground clearance. Although the V-Strom 1000, and just like your big adventure bikes, they're not made to go really deep to off-roading, anything like that. They're still going to be very capable bikes off-road, like fire roads, light trails, if you are an experienced rider. They're not going to be like your typical like your 300 or 400, 500, like motorcycles from even Yamaha, Suzuki, but it's a very capable motorcycle that is able to get you into deep terrain. The V-Strom 1000 has a 5.3 gallon tank. I couldn't find any figures regarding the MPG. However, typically this motorcycle with this type of horsepower and engine, they usually average mid 40s. So if we think about it, you should be able to get a comfortable 200 to 225 as far as distance go. This is going to be a V-twin engine. The engine holds 3.1 liters of oil. So that's going to be able to keep it running nice and cool. So today we're doing this demo ride with Suzuki. They're doing demo rides for Biketoberfest. So if you're able to hear in the audio, but honestly I gotta see if I'm able to lift this up a little bit, but we can't because it's in the front. So it's one of those things that is almost like, who thought of that design? So it gives you the opportunity to go between your ABS modes. You're able to see that we have the RPM, you have the gear indicator, and then you have your miles over here. Out of all the adventure bikes out there, I will have to say that this is the one that has the simplest display. If you look at my previous video from Honda, and I'll put a link up in this, in the video below, you're gonna see the LCD display. It has a beautiful over 6-inch screen, and it gives you all the different riding modes and all types of information that you're gonna need. Same thing if you look at the BMW GSA. The GSA is gonna have literally every possible information that you can have. This is just very simple and basic. You get your RPMs, you get your gear indicator, you get your miles, and that's pretty much it. Now, the Yamaha Super Tenere, I believe is going to be basically almost like this one. It's not going to be very flashy, but it's just, they're purpose-built motorcycles. One thing that is going to differentiate this V-Strom 1000 versus like your Yamaha or your BMW GSA is going to be the fact that it's going to be a chain driven. The GSA and the Super Tenere, they're going to be drive shaft. So if you're looking for simpler maintenance, then obviously the Yamaha and the Super Tenere are going to be probably what you want to get. Now, one thing to keep in mind, the chain maintenance is honestly not difficult at all. Brakes are really good. I'm gonna have to say right off the bat, this is probably one of the best motorcycle brakes I've had. It literally dives right away. It doesn't wait for you to, it doesn't feel like spongy, and we have it on ABS 1, so literally you press it and the motorcycle stops. So so one thing that's really good. Anyways, going back to the drive shaft and chain, the chain is going to be low maintenance. Honestly, if you haven't had a chain motorcycle, it might look like something daunting, but it's really not. You just got to keep it clean, lube it around every 1,000 miles, and you have a good chain for 15-20,000 miles. Drive shafts have come a very long way. The maintenance part of the drive shaft is literally going to consist of changing the oil every 4,000 to 6,000 miles depending on the manufacturer, but it's going to be very simple. I have a Yamaha FJR 1300, and literally it's one of the simplest things to have. All you do is you change it, at least for me, I change it every 5,000 miles. I change it every 5,000 miles with my oil change, and I don't have nothing to worry about. So these guys up front here are literally eating peanuts. They're taking it super easy today. When we compare the V-Strom 1000 to other adventure big bikes in the market, again, the Tenere, the Africa Twin, the GSA, this is going to be right around the cheapest of them all. The GSA is going to be the most expensive, followed usually by either your Africa Twin or the Super Tenere. Then it comes to V-Strom. So as far as bang for your money, the V-Strom is a really good package. I like about the V-Strom 1000 that it's going to be tubeless tires compared to your Adventure, to your Africa Twin. If you want tubeless tires, you have to go to the Adventure Sports model in order to be able to get the tubeless tires. But with the V-Strom, you're going to notice that they come already with tubeless tires, or you could buy the version that comes with the cast wheels. So now if you're going to be taking the V-Strom 1000 off-road, you're definitely going to want then to get the one with the spoke wire wheels, just because it's going to be better as far suspension and the way the motorcycle is going to be able to handle itself off-road, so like the one we have here. But very good motorcycle. You definitely feel the torque at the at the bottom end. That was one of the things that they did when they redid for the V-Strom. They bored the motor out a little bit more, so you're able to get that low end torque that's going to give you more power at the bottom end, where you really want to have, especially if you're doing off-road. When you're doing off-road, whether it's going to be light, like fire service roads or just light trails, the fun is going to be having that motorcycle in the the fun when you're riding a motorcycle of this size is to have that torque, you know, in the low range of your RPM. That way you're able to get out of those hairy situations, and it also makes maneuvering the motorcycle at lower speeds even better, because you have more power to you available lowering the speed. So that's one of the things that I really have to say that I enjoy about riding this V-Strom today. I like the color. It's a very bold statement color. When we see this bright yellow motorcycle, it almost reminds me of those Bumblebee BMWs from the 90s, but very beautiful. I have to say, you can definitely feel that he's going to be all plastic up here, so all this is going to be plastic, and it's just a very simple thing. I have to say, I enjoy the fact that this is going to be a motorcycle that has cruise control. You're going to be able to see it right here. So if you want to set the cruise control, you press your button right here. We're not going to set it up because we have people in front of me, but we press over here for the cruise control, and then you press either, you know, set or reset like you would on your regular car, and you're good to go. So then we're gonna see, I don't know if you're able to get a good eye on it, we have over here on the left side, we're gonna have the high beam pass. I have to say, I really like that. You could either push the lever forward. If you leave it forward, it's gonna just run the high beam, and we're gonna see it right here. You're gonna see the high beam right over here. If you pull it back, you're gonna see a flashing. That means that I'm flashing my high beam. So, you know, that's gonna be very good, especially if you're, you know, want somebody to pass or anything like that. You're able to flash your high beam, or sometimes you just need to flash the high beam, if you know, at night, just to get a better view of something. So again, you're able just to go ahead and pull on the high beam over here, pass, and you're able to go ahead and get that to work. We can see the traction control is turned off. You're able to turn it off, but you have to not be engaged with the throttle, so that's not something that we're able to do, and they really told us that you probably should not be messing with, you know, the settings of the motorcycle. So I'm just trying to be, you know, respectful of their, you know, of their request. But very nice motorcycle, guys. If you ask me, I mean, we literally have everything that you can ask for and then more. Even though you don't get a lot of information from your display, and if you ask me, they probably could make it a little bit brighter, or make at least the colors pop out or stand out a little bit more. It's very serviceable. Right now we are riding in Florida. We are, it's around, you know, almost 3 in the afternoon, sorry. So I mean, the sun is really hitting us, so you know, it's not that bad. As far as being able to stand, guys, I am 5'10", so my inseam is around 30 to 31 inches, and I'm able to stand with no real issues, and I'll show you guys here when we come to a stop. So if you look at me over here, if you look over here, you know, you see that I'm almost flat-footed in the motorcycle, so not bad. So another thing that you get with the, you know, Adventure model is going to be that you get these deflectors here, is the handguards. So obviously they're not going to be very sturdy. You probably have to go aftermarket for that, but you do have right off the factory, you have the handguards over here. The mirrors, you have great visibility to your left, to your right. So the mirrors from the factory, I'm going to have to say that they are very they're good. So not bad. If you look at my riding position, I'm actually not having to lean forward. I'm actually sitting nice and relaxed. My elbows are nice and relaxed over here on the motorcycle, and just basically it's a nice comfortable position. I'll show you guys when we get off now what I mean about the front windshield. It's probably one of the worst design anybody could have come with. I'm not really understanding why they did it that way. I like the way the Honda, the Africa Twin, did it. There's gonna have 2 levers over here, and you're able to pull up and down. It makes it a lot easier when you are, you know, moving your windshield on the go. Or even if you come to a stop, you don't have to get off the motorcycle to be able to pull it up and down. Maybe if you pull it through here, nope, you can't pull it through there. This is going to be handy, especially if you have like a GPS, or if you have like a phone holder. You can put your phone here, so you're going to have it right under the windshield. You could go ahead and plug it here for your power source. The lighting on the V-Strom 1000 is going to be LED, so you're going to get great visibility right off the line. So that's going to be one great thing that you're going to get, and you don't have to worry about. The one that we're riding today doesn't come with the we're gonna cook. We're gonna cook. The one that we're riding today doesn't come with the with the brackets for the side cases. As you can see, the one in the front does. It has the side cases for the left and right side. It does have the engine guard over here to your right, and it has one to your left. I've seen some guys that have the 1000. Actually, I read with one guy that has a V-Strom 1000, and he put like almost like these highway pegs over here, and you're able to stretch yourself even more. And we are back. And so guys, if you enjoy the content, just give it a thumbs up, share, like, and subscribe, and that way it helps me grow the channel. So I am dying to test that Hayabusa, just because it's always been a dream of mine. I've had before, my sportiest bike that I've ever had was a Speed Triple. So I got a lot of power, but nothing like the Hayabusa. So let me show you guys right now real quick. So let me turn it off. Another thing that I failed to tell you was this comes with center stand, which is going to see right here. That's going to make it a lot easier for you if you're doing maintenance, adjusting your chain or whatnot. So this is one thing that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So if you're able to see here, you have to pull back. It lets you move your windshield up and down, so it makes it easier for you. But again, whoever came up with this design made a bad design. So all right guys,